Hi everybody and welcome to week 2 of Crafty Advent. Today we are going to be making some really simple hand warmers in a Christmas theme, and as you can see now I am cheating and cutting out mine on a Big Shot, which is just a die cutting machine, but if you don't have a Big Shot you can absolutely just use scissors to cut these out. Basically, you just cut some shapes out of fabric. I had some hearts, some Christmas trees, some circles and lots of other shapes as well, which you'll see later. You're going to need some wool or some cotton, some needles and some rice. Doesn't matter what kind of rice really. It basically doesn't matter. So what you need is 2 of every shape so that you can sew them together and then fill them with rice later on. In this one I am going to go for a very Scandinavian style heart with the red and the white, and I am basically just going around doing something called a blanket stitch. I am not the world's best sewer. If you are hoping to learn how to do blanket stitch, you're probably better off watching someone else. You can see how I do it here, but I'm not really sure with how to start off and how to finish. I did get better as I went on, but the blanket stitch is pretty straightforward. You basically go from behind, pull it through, and then just before you've pulled the whole thing really tight you have a little loop left and you just push your needle through that and you get this really nice stitch all the way around. And it's called blanket stitch basically. So with this heart I just did that all the way around, and this footage is in real time, but I am going to speed it up for you in a second because it would take ages to watch everything and you would probably get a little bit bored. I think the entire thing took me around 20 minutes to sew, so this footage is at times 6 speed I think, and yeah, there's not really an awful lot more to say about it. I just go around until I'm almost at the end that you can see here, and then I leave a little opening and then I start to fill it with rice. And like I said before, it really doesn't matter what kind of rice you used. I've looked it up online, and basically just buy your cheapest rice, and what happens is then when these are all finished you can put them in the microwave for a couple of minutes. Oh yeah, one thing to make sure is make sure that the fabric that you are using is microwave safe. So if you're using felt, make sure it doesn't contain any plastics. So this was a cotton based felt. Most felts shouldn't contain plastics, but sometimes they do. So anyway, filled it up till I was happy with how much rice there was. It doesn't need to be chock-a-block full, just so it's squishy, and then you just sew the rest of the hole up. And that's basically it for the heart. As I said, nice and quick to do, not really difficult. My sewing skills aren't maybe the best, but it was fun to do anyway. So once the heart was finished, I went on to another one, and this one I am not going to do with a blanket stitch because of the scalloped edge around the outside. I basically just did a running stitch all the way around this one, and that is literally just going in and out, in and out. Really, you can't get any simpler than a running stitch in sewing. And I just went round the outside once until I got to leaving the gap. And then obviously, because you don't want all your rice to fall out of the gaps once you filled it, I then did the running stitch again all the way around to fill in the gaps, which you'll see me do in just a second. I actually ended up doing 9 different hand warmers of these on Monday. I was not feeling too great, so I was at home from work, and we have a school market, and that's why we're actually making these. My kids at school are going to make them to sell at the school market and raise money for charity and for our school. So I thought I'd help them along and do a bit of sewing while I was not feeling too great, at home feeling sorry for myself. So yeah, basically here are the 9 that I made. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!